Swift-spiracy on our hands, people. I know you guys are even fed up with us at this point for covering Taylor Swift, but it's sort of just an occupational hazard for us at this point. She's constantly in the news cycle. She's constantly topping the charts. It's unavoidable to know about Taylor Swift's whereabouts, her love life, and her political views. And this is what everyone is panicking about. I think that a lot of political pundits on the right are worried who she is going to endorse in the 2024 election.
That makes no sense.
We already know.
People are like,
who
we're
it is.
setting the stage for the endorsement. We knew who that endorsement was going to be before he was even running, before Biden was even running. This is nothing new. She's a Democrat.
No, to refresh all of your memory, back in 2020, Taylor Swift did endorse Biden for the 2020 election.
With cringy cookies.
She held out this plate of cookies that said Biden-Harris 2020 in the frosting. It was awful. I highly doubt she even made those cookies. But yeah, she already endorsed Biden, and I would be supremely unimpressed if she endorsed Biden once more. I would not be surprised at all.
She comes out and she's like, I'm team RFK all the way.
Here's some surprising news, though. If we're talking numbers, Taylor Swift could sway the 2024 election outcome. A new poll suggests a fifth of voters are likely to back a candidate endorsed by Taylor Swift.
Why are you doing that?
Yes. 18% of voters say they're more likely to vote for a candidate endorsed by Taylor Swift. And this election will see 8 million new voters in the U.S. electorate who are Gen Z. And she just posted on her Instagram story and got about 30,000 of them to register, likely as Democrat voters. This is not a surprise at all.
Yeah.
And her boyfriend, Travis Kelce, made $20 million off of his Pfizer sponsorship, which is more than he makes in a year as a football player.
Saw this amazing meme. It showed him hugging Taylor Swift and him with his like Pfizer Band-Aid, and it says, either way, this dude's getting his heart broken.
Yep. Love that. So I guess that right-wing political pundits are saying that Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift and their relationship is getting artificially propped up by the media in order to wheel Biden back into office in 2024 and prevent Trump from winning the election. I see other headlines. Wildest dream. Biden is eyeing a huge celebrity surrogate, Taylor Swift. Vivek Ramaswamy also tweeted about this. He said, I wonder who's going to win the Super Bowl next month, and I wonder if there's a major presidential endorsement coming from an artificially, culturally propped up couple this fall. Just some wild speculation over here. Let's see how it ages over the next 8 months.
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I'm not one to just buy into conspiracy theories whole hog. I'm not. But the sheer amount of material that comes out about her doesn't feel organic to me anymore. Even for a pop star of her caliber. I get it. $1 billion tour, millions upon millions of ad sales. Why am I looking at body language experts talking about I'm sorry.
But it's the momentum. It's the entropy, right?
It feels it's starting to feel fake now.
It's feeding into itself. Yeah. So if one media outlet covers a story, the other one has to. Yeah. This is how the media works, that they're copycatting each other. To me, it makes sense.
And they're talking about is the Super Bowl rigged? Is it illegal to offer a bribe to an official? Is that a crime?
Well, so is election rigging. But a lot of people think that goes on behind the scenes
somebody
too.
Somebody out there needs to just take a hidden camera and just go try and bribe the officials.
What do you think is more heavily enforced against? Rigging in a Super Bowl or rigging in a general election?
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Probably.
I agree. Yeah.
There are no 2 a.m. ballots coming through.
Yeah, so Taylor Swift, she's a rigger, according to them. I think that a lot of political pundits, especially who are men, don't understand the organic appeal of Taylor Swift. And I understand that. If you're a man, why would you like Taylor Swift? It doesn't make sense to you. But they're trying to tether it to a sphere that makes sense to them, which would be politics, or for sports fans, it's sports. And these are data-driven spheres of the culture.
Yeah.
That's why men gravitate toward them. Women gravitate to Taylor Swift because she writes love songs. She writes about falling in and out of love. She's writing about her relationships. They like her aesthetics. These are the things that women gravitate toward. So for them, it's an organic interest that they have in her. I think that a lot of people who are either in the political or the sports world just don't understand it, so they have to chalk it up to some mass scale conspiracy.
But I'm here in this world by trade.
Sure.
And it doesn't feel organic to me anymore. In the summer, it felt organic to me. You could
fair
say
for
it's
you
entropy.
to
You
think
could
so.
say snowball rolling downhill. Sure.
So the real conspiracy, though, that we covered months ago, the real conspiracy was that Taylor Swift was eyeing the Oval Office for herself. The real conspiracy was that she was timing her tour to end in October of this year so that she can surprise run for president, and then she would be 35 years of age before Inauguration Day.
Yeah.
That was the real conspiracy, but I think that's unlikely. It's looking unlikely at this point, and it would definitely secure Trump the win if she siphoned off some of the Democrat voters from Biden.
Yeah.
But the other theory here is from the sports fans. We're saying that the Super Bowl is getting rigged so that Taylor Swift can endorse Biden. So there's the election is getting rigged.
She's endorsing him anyways.
Taylor Swift is rigging the election, and she's rigging the Super Bowl, all in a master plan to control the world.
And I actually want to point out another thing. Another reason why I don't believe it's all entirely organic. There was this article from December from October, where Taylor Swift went to a Gaza fundraising show. Why didn't that end up on 10,000 articles? Because she's supposed to be semi-politically neutral, right? She wants to just show up. She wants all the people to show up that love her. So why did that get buried on page 50? You're telling me that Selena Gomez was the most interesting part of a celebrity showing up to a fundraiser for Gaza? No. Not when the media's head over heels for sucking off anything that's Taylor Swift. No way.
Yeah, I agree.
Organic.
I remember when that headline passed by, but it was when everyone was talking about Selena Gomez being a Zionist, and then that was being cited as proof that she's not. No one was talking about the fact that Taylor Swift went. Yeah. But I think that if Taylor Swift or Travis Kelce are being controlled by a 3-letter agency, it's the NFL, because it was recently reported that Taylor Swift has generated an equivalent brand value for the NFL of $331.5 million.
Yes.
That includes print, digital, radio, TV, highlights, and social media since the first game that she attended for the Chiefs back in September last year.
Yes.
That's insane. If she's being controlled by a 3-letter agency, it's not the CIA, it's not the World Economic Forum, it's not the DNC, it's the NFL. Just to burst everyone's bubble about that.
Oh, and if people were wondering, it was so she was at a comedian named Rami Youssef's fundraising event for Gaza. It was a
comedy
fundraising
show.
comedy show. The point is, somebody as image conscious as she is, making the decision to go there matters. So the fact that they didn't do that there was no mass reporting about this other than articles that also included Selena Gomez in the headline, I have to ask if there are not just selective editors out there for your newspapers. Remember, we were talking about this yesterday, and I saw other people were talking about this as well. The number one way the media lies is by deciding what they choose to report on. It's not about lying in the article. It's about choosing what articles not to write.
Right.
In this case, the fact that this wasn't a bigger case tells me that she is being propped up in some fashion. Is it politics? I don't know, but it doesn't feel organic.
I mean, the only counter argument to that I can think of is that you would pay more attention to an actor or actress making a statement about Israel or Palestine, because that affects the kind of jobs that they're going to get in Hollywood. Whereas Taylor Swift, she's kind of her own business. Yes. You know, she's more independent than someone like Melissa Barrera, Jenna Ortega, Gal Gadot, Rachel Zegler, all of these other people that we've been talking about.
Yep.
So I see why that would be a different case. Now, I want to turn your attention to another story that's been circulating about Taylor Swift, which is about her serial stalker. This is a man named David Crow, who has been seen visiting Taylor Swift's Tribeca apartment over 30 times in the span of the past 2 months. He has been arrested for the third time in a span of 5 days and went back to Taylor's block immediately after leaving court for his previous arrest in New York. There is his face. I tweeted about this. She was a pop star. He was a stalker dumpster diving in her apartment complex. Can I make it any more obvious? And he looks just about as crazy as he is. No surprise there. He's got the crazy eyes for sure. He claims that he was dumpster diving near her apartment because she stole a pair of his pants. That was his explanation.
Well, that could happen to anyone.
That could happen to anyone. Taylor Swift is out here stealing pants. It's the sisterhood of the traveling stalker
I like
pants.
the idea that it's actually true, but it's so insane that nobody believes him.
Right? Like, and he's actually going crazy
like
and spiraling.
It's like the story where like they would do this thing where it's like a cop would put on clown makeup and go in and beat a suspect with a phone book, and they do that so when the guy tries to tell the story, he's like, and then he just came in with clown makeup and beat the shit out of me. Nobody will believe him because it sounds insane.
It's gang stalking. So truly, Taylor Swift is actually gang stalking her stalker.
Look, we had White House officials stealing luggage out of airports. Anything is possible.
Yeah. So the reason that this story is getting particular attention from right-wing Twitter is because Taylor Swift, having endorsed Biden and his policies, kind of voted for the lenient, hear me out, for the lenient DA Alvin Bragg in New York that allows this to happen, where all of these criminals are being repeatedly arrested and then released, and then released.
She's not thinking about it that hard.
Ian Miles Chong tweeted, unpopular opinion. Taylor Swift has herself partially to blame for the stalker because she promotes voting for Democrats whose policies allow the stalker to roam free and harass her at any given opportunity. And then I also saw a video that Brett Cooper posted titled, Taylor Swift may not like woke politics after this. Taylor Swift has a stalker who's in a cycle of stalking her, getting arrested, getting released, and immediately stalking her again. Taylor's fans are enraged that he isn't being charged with crimes, which ironically is the result of politicians who share Taylor Swift's political perspective.
You are on the sauce if you think any of this will actually change how they vote or believe or what they believe.
Yeah.
That's cause and effect that they don't actually understand.
It takes some mental gymnastics to extrapolate that Taylor Swift even thought that through.
Exactly.
So, former guest of the show, Mostly Peaceful Latinas, tweeted about this situation and said that the right looks terrible for even pointing out this hypocrisy. She said, conservative women making fun of Taylor Swift over her stalker being released from jail, saying she voted for bail reform, are the reason the right is perceived as mean-spirited. I had a stalker. I live in Florida, and the courts did absolutely nothing. Pretty much the cops will tell you that you need to die in order for them to be able to do something serious. Learn the law. You all look like evil dumbasses.
I mean, just because what they're saying isn't kind doesn't mean it's not true. But also, she's right. She's right that, the cops, it's not the pre-crime unit. They can't really do much about it.
Yeah.
Like, this is a story as old as time. And it has nothing to do with legal jurisdiction.
Do you think Taylor Swift is going to be the next Selena or the next Christina Grimmie?
No, I don't. No, I don't even like the idea of putting that out in the air. No, I don't think so. I think
I don't want to speak it into existence either.
She's got her own Mossad security guard. She'll be fine.
I mean, you would think with the kind of security detail that Taylor Swift can afford that this wouldn't be happening, and yet here this man is showing up to her front door 30 times a day.
There's a $20 one here from Beavis McLean. Says, the stalker is trying to get his spoons back. The pants is just the cover story. Do you all mind if I shout out my venture in the culture war?
You go ahead.
Go ahead. Shout it out, my friend.
No problem.
You should do that. And get Taylor her spoons back.
So Taylor is actually the spoon thief. It's not Seamus.
Perfect sense.
She framed Seamus as the spoon thief, but it was really her all along. We got another $20 from Disco Jensen. Swift getting Minecrafted by this guy might be the culture shock needed for a swing to vote back to common sense.
Nope.
Nope.
I don't believe that that's going.
Not going to happen. It'll be blamed on misogyny. It'll be blamed on a lot of things, but it will not be blamed on bail reform laws in New York.
No. This is why nothing.
Far too optimistic.
This is why this is where my blackpilling comes up. They control the media. They control the policies. They control how a story is shifted. Look how quickly like school shooter stories disappear if it doesn't agree with the narrative. Gone. Poof. Like it never happened. Nope. Wouldn't matter.
Okay, there's another one from Beavis McLean. He said, check out the Camo Comedy Podcast, 2 M's in Camo, available now on all podcast platforms. Hilarious stories from military service, based folks discussing fun times from the military, not family friendly.
Go
Thank
check
you
it
for
out,
that
guys.
Disclaimer.
On all services. Go check it out.
We do love when people buy ad reads on the show via super chats. Yep. But yeah, just something to keep an eye on.
And it would also be annoying if something was done about stalkers because of Taylor Swift, because lots of celebrities deal endlessly with stalkers.
True. Ariana Grande was another one that was just reported. This guy went to Ariana Grande's house nearly 100 times.
Yeah.
And no one was talking about that. It's only news when it's Taylor Swift. And, okay, Brett. You can't deny that the right looks lame when they point to something that's culturally relevant and they immediately think of a way that it could be a giant conspiracy rather than looking into why do young women love Taylor Swift so much?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. No, it's like what Phil said the other day. I think we talked about it yesterday, where he said, like, look, if you want to win the culture war, you can't pretend that everything you don't agree with is some type of massive, multi-layered psyop that's being controlled by deep, dark forces, right? That's not how the world usually works.
Right.
Usually the answers are a bit more mundane. My common sense tells me that there's something inorganic about the push that's going on right now. I'm not even claiming
media coverage.
Yes, I'm not even claiming that that the inorganic nature of it is in service of a cause other than the cause of making money. I'm just saying that it doesn't feel organic. That's just all the feels here, guys. Here, I'm the liberal here. I can act on my fifis.
This is literally going to be Republicans' Russiagate. It's going to be the Taylor Swift gate.
Yeah. All I'm saying is that, like, when you look at this stuff all day, and it's not just because of my work. Like, look, I'm always trying to check myself. Like, is this because of what I'm doing for work? But I go to the store and every magazine on the rack is about her. That's got nothing to do with my work. That's just out in the real world.
Look on the bright side, though. Look at the silver lining. We could have it a lot worse in terms of who young women are idolizing. Young women are idolizing Taylor Swift, and look at what else is on the market for them. Compare Taylor Swift to what else is on the market in the entertainment industry. They could be idolizing Cardi B. They could be idolizing Doja Cat or Lil Nas X or, Sam Smith or any of these people who are so flagrantly degenerate. These people who are over-sexualized in all of their lyrics, in their dances, they make open displays of Satanism. At least they are into Taylor Swift, who is relatively inoffensive.
There's a comment here that says, after 2 decades of utter garbage and mockery, why would the right offer these people any grace? I think that's something that they talk about. Like, look, you can't win the female demographic with the facts and logic argument.
Nope.
It doesn't work.
Alex Clark was so right.
Yeah.
Feelings don't care about your facts.
You can win the men with that argument.
Yep.
You cannot win the women with that argument. I'm sorry. It's not going to work.
Yeah. So. It seems like, the right is included in people who have been fooled by the men and women are the same lie.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.